first of all, a night like this doesn't happen without a lot of work behind the scenes by a lot of people. I want to thank members of our school climate committee for organizing tonight's program. I want to thank Mrs. Harrison. She's the secretary in the main office. She's the one that sent you the letters. She's the one that made the certificates. She's the one that you probably talked to on the phone. In short, she's the driver behind this evening, so it's important to thank her. You probably saw her on your way in setting up the bags for our award winners this evening. And I want to thank you as the parents for sharing your children with us here on a daily basis. It's just been a pleasure to have them here in our building, so thank you very much for that. All right. It is an axiom that bad news travels fast, and what often gets lost is all the good things that are going on. And it's important that we pause and celebrate the many positive things that happen in our world and the good people that we have in our lives. Tonight we're going to celebrate some really bright points in our school. It's our Greyhound Gala, and just to give you a quick explanation, all of our teachers have the opportunity to nominate a student, and it's for whatever reason they choose, but it's a person that stands out in their class. It can be for a variety of reasons, for their citizenship, for their academics, for some combination thereof. But again, just a special person, that bright light in their day, and an opportunity to recognize that, to celebrate. And so we're going to do that this evening. Just in terms of mechanics, I know Ms. Avanzado was working hard over here explaining to everybody how the system is going to work, but we're going to start. The first teacher is going to come up. It's Mrs. Hughes, and she will read her speech and recognize her nominee. If your name is called, we ask you to come up here on the stage via those steps and meet the teacher here by the podium. And then after the presentation is done, you're going to go with the teacher out those doors over there. We're going to have your picture taken, etc., and then we'll bring you back here for the balance of the ceremony. So with that bit of administrivia out of the way, I want to begin with introducing our band director, Ms. Shannon Hughes.
Hi everyone, good evening. When choosing a student for the Greyhound Gala, a teacher might consider someone who gets good grades, has shown consistent improvement, or simply makes them laugh each day. I thought about the students who make the rest of us want to do and be better. My Greyhound Gala nominee has shown dedication, enthusiasm, and attention to detail. These are qualities that will take her far in all aspects of life. I've seen her develop a passion for performing, an admirable work ethic, and friendships that will last a lifetime. She encourages and motivates the people around her and shares her best with us during rehearsals and performances. Rather than having students for a short time, I'm one of the few teachers to have students for the entire time they're in middle school. I've enjoyed getting to know this student for the last 2 years, from her very first squeaks on the clarinet to her confident performances in wind ensemble, jazz band, and marching band. Thank you and congratulations to my Greyhound Gala recipient, Dylan Morgan. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Diane Brown to announce our next recipient.
Buenas noches. I chose my Greyhound Gala recipient for many different reasons. I will start off by reading a Spanish name poem that I wrote about this student. It uses letters in my recipient's name to describe some of the things that I believe make them very deserving of this honor. I'll translate as I go for our non-Spanish speakers. Es muy respetuosa. She's very respectful. Es entusiasta y tiene mucho interés en el idioma de español. Very enthusiastic and has a lot of interest in the Spanish language. Cada día me dice que tengo un buen día antes de salir. She always says to me, have a nice day before leaving. Es trabajadora y muestra mucho orgullo en su trabajo. She's very hardworking and shows a lot of pride in her work. Es creativa, very creative. Siempre llega a mi clase con una sonrisa. She always arrives to my class with a smile. Es amable y sincera. She's nice and sincere. As a language teacher, I love nothing more than having a student who wants to learn more than just what's being presented in class. You always go above and beyond to really work hard to grasp the Spanish language. Your effort and interest shows with the intelligent questions that you ask in class and your use of the language outside of class. I suspect my recipient is the reason why I have random students who aren't even in my class saying things to me in Spanish daily. You are someone who I know is going to succeed in whatever you choose to do because of your wonderful work ethic, curiosity, creativity, and kindness. These qualities will also bring you much success as you continue your language learning. It was a pleasure having you in class, and I'm proud to have been your Spanish teacher this year. I want to wish you the very best as you continue your journey through Northern and beyond. I know I will see great things from you in the future. I'm very excited and proud to give my Greyhound Gala Award this evening to Bex Kearns.
Hi again. So I'm now reading for Teresa Puglisi, our nurse. She wasn't able to be here tonight, and this is one of my students as well, so it's really nice to be able to read this for her. I've had the pleasure of getting to know this student for 2 years and have chosen this student in part because of this person's kind heart and nice personality. While some difficult curves have been thrown to this student, I have seen how all is met with a positive attitude and a bright smile. Even at times when this student has not been feeling great, this young person is always thoughtful, kind, and friendly to all others in my office. I've been proud to see this student's growth in so many ways during that time, as this award recipient has climbed a tough learning curve and mastered new skills and strengthened the ability to manage complex situations. I've enjoyed the interesting and humorous conversations we have had in my office as I follow the detailed story with sometimes TMI, sorry mom and dad, but even as I smile at the stories, I can see how outside of school, this person is considerate, kind, and funny. Now, if we could only continue to tame the tech forgetfulness. I am happy to recognize Jack Myers as my choice for a Greyhound Gala Award recipient. And now I'll introduce Ms. Adcock to announce our next recipient. Thank you.
All right, good evening, everyone. So in true English teacher fashion, I felt it appropriate to start with a vocabulary definition. So my word is inspire. And that means to fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. There are few teachers who have the honor of encountering a student who has the power to inspire them. A student that lights up a room with their presence and voice, a student who radiates light wherever they go, whether it's a smile in the main office during my groggy mornings, or a student who shares the friendliest hello during passing time. Not only do these kinds of students try their very best, but they succeed against all odds that are against them. They never settle for less. They do not fear their struggles, but instead they paint their struggles beautiful throughout their prose. In the midst of adversity, they are not afraid to dive deep into the unknown, to ask questions, and to attempt any task with what knowledge they have. These students possess the power to inspire. It was my honor and privilege in the first semester to have one of these students. As a writer myself, times can get so busy that it is difficult to find time to write. My time becomes devoted to inspiring my students to write, and in the midst of it all, I forget to cultivate time for my own creative projects. This student has a gift that shines out of their poetry and lights up their readers. Perhaps they did not know how much light they radiated, but I am so thankful that their words inspired my desire to pick up that journal and write again. It is a pleasure to recognize Ms. Marbella Arias Sanchez for embodying the definition of inspiration. And now I welcome Mrs. Christina Folk to the stage.
Hi there. I'm going to keep mine pretty short and sweet. So my nominee is a student I've helped throughout the year in 3 different classes: American History, Science, and Geometry and Probability. One of their biggest struggles was on CERs in science class. It's kind of like a scientific essay, if you want to say it that way. But I'm proud to say that they have improved greatly throughout the year. In honor of that, I'd like to make the following claim. Joella Hogenkamp is my nominee for the 2023 Greyhound Gala because she is hardworking, caring, and helpful student. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Ryan Rafferty.
All right, good evening, everyone. All right, so my name is Mr. Ryan Rafferty. The student that I've chosen exemplifies what it means to be dedicated and extremely hardworking. It was no secret that this student came out of the gates as a bright soul ready to show that they were eager to learn and be active. Entering the room always with a smile, ready to ask how either my weekend went or how to tell me how theirs went. Throughout Health and Phys Ed, the student always went above and beyond. Oh, and did I forget? This student torches up the track every so often. It started in the fall when I noticed the student had some serious talent on days we would go to the track. We quickly found out we both had a passion for the same thing, running. It didn't take long before this student was asking me if I could put her through a workout during PE class, and would tell me, why not? It's fun. Her desire to be the best she can be is the most inspiring attribute about her. She sees no challenge as too big for her and will do anything she can to own anything you throw at her. Overall, this student has made this school year a very special one. She's only a 7th grader and has already had an amazing impact on our school here at Northern. It's for all the reasons that I have chosen Sadie Kruger for my Greyhound Gala recipient. Might I add, she ran a 5:26 mile today and is probably one of the fastest 7th graders in the state. All right, and it is my honor, pleasure to invite up Miss Alexandra Nowak.
When I think of my nominee, the song Here Comes the Sun by the Beatles immediately pops into my head. For those of you that are in 8th grade, it's a 60s band. The word that describes my nominee best is sunshine. She is kind, empathetic, and radiates positivity even when she herself is having a hard day. At the beginning of this year, my nominee was shy, quiet, and very skeptical about math. She by no means considered herself a math student, but over time grew into one. Perseverance, hard work, and their enthusiasm for learning helped my nominee get where she is today. Although my nominee's work ethic throughout the semester was impeccable, it was her thoughtfulness and willingness to help others that really stood out to me. Earlier this year, I passively mentioned that my favorite Disney character was Stitch. A few days later, my nominee brought me a hand-drawn Stitch sticker that I have on my laptop to this day. I am so incredibly proud of what my nominee has accomplished, and I cannot wait to see the success that awaits her in the future. With great pleasure, I would like to present this Greyhound Gala Award to Allison Kulick. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Jason Hoy.
Hi, I'm Jason Hoy. I'm a math teacher here at Northern Burlington. My nominee is a hardworking and dedicated student. I am continuously impressed with how well he responds to challenging questions and works through difficult concepts. In my classes, we tend to get fairly competitive during our games and activities, and my nominee does a great job of balancing his desire to be competitive with his ability to help others learn. He is focused on his own success, but will take the time to help other students as well. Because of his drive, determination, and compassionate nature, I'm honored to nominate Connor Rank as my Greyhound Gala nominee. I'll be Miss Marchetti in the next speech. She was unfortunately unable to be here today, but the student that she chose, we both actually teach, and is a well-deserving individual as well. I am now Miss Marchetti. One of the most rewarding parts of being a teacher at Northern Burlington is selecting a student for the Greyhound Gala. It's one of those rare opportunities where you can recognize a student for any reason you so choose. For me, selecting a student is something I consider throughout the entire school year. I, Ms. Marchetti, look to find students who are not only academically successful, but who also possess other qualities that are unique and commendable. This year, my nominee can be described as honest, hardworking, and determined. While these traits are all extremely important and admirable, what makes him stand out is his dedication to learning as much as possible all of the time. My nominee challenges himself by never taking the easy way out. He puts forth great effort into all assignments, not just those assignments that count the most. He is determined to be successful, not just some of the time, but all the time. He is kind and friendly and is without a doubt a pleasure to teach and know. I am proud to present this 2023 Greyhound Gala Nominee Award to Eric Sacramento Luna. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Ms. Danielle Andrula to announce our next recipient.
Hello, everyone. Okay. My Greyhound Gala recipient for this year was a very easy decision to make. I knew early on in the school year that this student was going to be my choice. I got to know this student both in the classroom and during our after-school robotics club. In both settings, this student is a leader and an overachiever. He is always very detail-oriented, having a true curiosity and passion for engineering and design. He always wants to produce the best work he possibly can and asks all the right questions to help him and his teammates during projects. When students have questions or need help, my Gala recipient is the go-to guy because he leads by example, is a team player, and is always willing to help others. This student is insightful, determined, hardworking, helpful, and above all, a kid that all other students enjoy being around. He was a pleasure to have worked with and gotten to know, and I hope to have him again as my student at the high school next year. My Greyhound Gala Award goes to Dante Caniglio. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Kelsey Princetta.
When I think about my Gala nominee, a quote from Walt Disney comes to mind. We keep moving forward, opening new doors and doing new things because we're curious, and curiosity keeps leading us down new paths. The student I chose shows his curiosity in his thirst for new knowledge and for deepening his understanding of concepts he knows. He demonstrates curiosity about the real world and connects topics we learn in math to determine their relevance in his life. He shows enthusiasm to share topics related to him, such as how probability is used in many games, using a D20 die, and bringing in a triangular ruler he found at home to ask its purpose. This student brings life to our classroom discussions. He is not afraid to be wrong and sees any errors as an opportunity for growth. The student I nominated for this Greyhound Gala Award is Cale Reed. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Michelle Lapari.
Has a good joke ever made you laugh in the middle of your workday? Well, have I got someone to introduce you to, my Greyhound Gala nominee. Have you ever been asked a question about a topic that you thoroughly enjoy that actually makes you think? If so, there's someone I'd like you to meet, my Greyhound Gala nominee. Do you ever find yourself appreciating someone's genuinely kind and helpful personality? Okay, well, you really should come see me after the ceremony to meet my Greyhound Gala nominee. My Greyhound Gala nominee is all of these and more. They share science jokes often, many of which I've never heard before, ask meaningful questions that are extensions of what we are learning in science class, and they are always willing to help out, whether it be to a fellow classmate or me as the instructor. Let me introduce you to my Greyhound Gala nominee, a triple threat with a great sense of humor, accelerated depth of science knowledge, and genuinely a good person, Logan Reed. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Miss Lori Elser to announce our next recipient.
Okay, the recipient of this award has a contagious smile of sunshine on her face. The student is trustworthy, reliable, and good-humored young lady who supports others inside and outside of the classroom. She is on task during class and encourages others to do the same. When her work is complete, she reads. She has realized that success is measured by studying and achieving her goals, which demonstrates her commitment for success. I've had the pleasure of witnessing her enjoyment of reading in and outside the classroom this year. I have had the privilege of watching her develop self-advocacy skills and help her grow from a shy, quiet student to a confident young lady. She clarifies her assignments before she begins to fully understand how to excel. She consistently seeks out constructive feedback so she can improve her writing skills. Throughout the year, this student has respected the opinion of others even when they differ from her own. She has tried to encourage her friends to read by taking them to the media center during lunch to take out books. She has shown me teacher appreciation by leaving cards of gratitude in my mailbox, treats on my desk to eat or enjoy, and new stickers to hand out to the class when my supply was running low. Her caring nature and generous personality allows her to work well with others in a team setting. She is truly a standout individual who is a pleasure to teach. Her positive attitude shines through the classroom. I am confident that she will continue to demonstrate the same diligence, perseverance, and optimism in her future endeavors in Texas, which is why I have selected Aurora Early to receive the Greyhound Gala Award. It's my pleasure to introduce Ms. Alyssa Despinier. I'm probably not saying your name right. Sorry.
Good evening. The student I have chosen to honor this evening is a one-of-a-kind individual who adds color and vibrancy to our school community. Their constant cheerfulness was absolutely contagious, and their positive attitude toward learning was nothing short of refreshing. I have never seen my nominee with anything other than a big smile on their face. This student truly never seems to have a bad day. And of course, we know this isn't the case, as we all have our bad days. But I commend my nominee for never letting it change their daily outlook. I aspire to be more like my nominee, finding joy in the small moments of each day and uplifting others with my positivity. Aside from their outward kindness, their self-assurance makes them a role model for others, and I am honored to have them as a student in our school. In a hallway filled with students donning Crocs and flannel pants, my nominee chooses to embrace and embody uniqueness and fashion, always standing out from the crowd in the best way. Their confidence is inspiring, and it is what we all hope our own children will possess one day. My gala recipient has always been a student who would go out of their way to show that they care about others, including their teachers. As a semester teacher myself, I can quickly be forgotten by my students who move on mid-year, but not by my gala recipient. He made sure to always stop by to say hello or greet me with a warm hug and a smile. These seemingly small gestures always made big impacts on my day. So tonight, I'd like to personally thank you, Dylan Pollock, for making this school year more fun, friendly, to announce our next recipient.
What's up, y'all? Hope everybody's having a good night. All right, when choosing my Greyhound Gala, there is one factor that I consider above all else. I always ask myself which one of my students I see the most of myself in. Now, that is not always an easy thing to find because I am pretty great, as my students would tell you. Pretty amazing, I am. However, there was one student that stood out to me this year. Along with being an excellent student, this person brings a certain amount of goofiness that not everyone could pull off. I would say most people probably couldn't, but it goes all right for you. Some extra roles my Greyhound Gala choice took on this school year included updating the date on my board every single day, being the seat monitor in my classroom every single day, as well as being the volume monitor. This person constantly went above and beyond assisting me in the classroom. He already knows who he is, but that's okay. Now, whether talking about history, football, or Pokemon, it is always a pleasure to have this student in my class. It is my honor to present this Greyhound Gala Award to AJ Susky. This is the awkward part. We have to wait for him to walk up. But he's going as fast as he can. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce Ms. Rachel Friedman.
When asked to describe a good leader in 5 words, my Greyhound Gala student listed the following 5 words: intelligent, charismatic, wise, kind, and considerate. Although this question led our class into a discussion of Roman emperors, many of which were none of those things, the fact that all of these words could be used to describe him was not missed by me. Because he is humble and maybe a little sarcastic, he'll undoubtedly say that I'm wrong. Because I'm stubborn and a little sarcastic too, let me share with you why I'm right. My Gala student is intelligent. His grades represent his strong work ethic and curious mind. He is wise beyond his years, and I always appreciate his dry sense of humor. He is kind and considerate. Although quiet when you meet him, he's hyper-aware of those around him. Finally, he is charismatic, a quality that is so difficult to explain, but so easy to identify. My Gala student has a spark that is noticeable even when his nose is stuck firmly in a book. If my Gala student had been a Roman emperor, he'd have been one of the good ones. I have no doubt that these words will continue to describe him for the rest of his life and will help him find success in all that he does. Carpe diem, and congratulations to my Gala student, Xavier Duckett. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ryan Lafferty to introduce our next nominee.
As a middle school teacher, I have the pleasure of meeting so many remarkable individuals, and this year was no exception. It's always such a difficult choice, picking just one student who shows something special, who makes our days a little brighter, and even more importantly, fun. I always look for students who embody creativity, inspiration, and an authentic bravery simply to be themselves. To quote the ancient poet Virgil, "Fortune favors the bold or the strong." My Greyhound Gala selection is, without a doubt, a visual creative with a love of illustration. And of course, Hayao Miyazaki movies. Howl's Moving Castle. She is brilliantly imaginative, impeccably talented and brave to take chances at answering the hard questions in class, being herself and always being kind to others. It is with great pleasure that I nominate Emryn Welton as my Greyhound Gala nominee for 2023. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce the inimitable Miss Taylor Dembowski.
Good evening, everyone. So as educators, we strive for our students to want to learn more than the basic curriculum. Our goal is to inspire them to push themselves to meet and exceed expectations and their goals. My Greyhound Gala nominee has done just that. When I think of the student I have nominated today, 3 words instantly come to my mind: determined, kind, and a true leader. This student constantly strives to go above and beyond what is expected of them. They actively participate in class and are always willing to help a struggling student. In fact, this student is practically a mini teacher themselves. They effortlessly use the techniques that they have learned from their own teachers to help guide their peers. This student's dedication to improving themselves is admirable. They consistently seek out new challenges and opportunities to grow, putting in the time and effort needed to achieve success. Their maturity and well-rounded personality makes them an absolute joy to be around. I've known this student for approximately 5 years, if I'm calculating correctly, and it's just a joy to be around them. They have grown tremendously. I have no doubt that this student has a bright, bright future ahead of them and that they are capable of achieving anything that they set their mind to. It is a great honor to announce Sabrina Smilo as the student that I've chosen for the Greyhound Gala. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Jennifer Scott to announce our next recipient.
Good evening, everyone. I am presenting this gala award to a student who has added a lot of fun and joy to our class. This student brings positive energy and infectious smiles to class each morning. Although serious about her work, she has the ability to lighten the mood and always manages to add a little bit of fun to the mix. One of the things I appreciate about this student is her willingness to get involved. She is always eager to participate and share her ideas and inspires her classmates to get involved as well. She is always willing to lend a helping hand to her classmates and teachers. She has a way of making everyone feel included and valued. This student is a shining example of what it means to be both smart and fun. She is a joy to teach, and we all feel so lucky to have her in our class. Congratulations to Miss Isabella Boone on this well-deserved Greyhound Gala Award. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Emily Flynn.
Good evening. The student I nominated has great effort, is kind, and has subtle humor that makes me smile. They do not boast about their successes or good deeds, but that does not mean they have gone unnoticed. I have caught this student lending a helping hand to a classmate when no one was looking, or scoring an exceptional grade on a test without saying a peep. I've had the pleasure of working with this student in both 7th and 8th grade and have seen them grow tremendously in math class. This year, I have seen this student display a genuine interest in learning. I remember during the first few weeks of school, I noticed the student was solving equations using different steps than we had presented to the class. They were solving the problems correctly and were confident in their work. I was instantly impressed. I am so proud of the learner they have become, and I am so grateful to have been a part of their journey. I am honored to announce that my Greyhound Gala nominee this year is Tavon McDougall. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Tracy Gillespie to announce our next recipient.
It's the sound I hear every morning. My Gala student in so many ways is the same as they were in September. However, in many ways they are different. In September, my Gala student struggled with carrying a Chromebook, one binder, agenda book, lanyard with the ID on it, and the water bottle. With time and much repetition, my Gala student became able to get from the locker to the classroom without dropping anything. I am in awe of how my Gala is able to manage to pay attention in class while struggling just to stay in one location in my classroom. My Gala student has his own office. No matter how difficult it may be, he is always thinking, has the correct answer, and asks great questions. My Gala student has grown in understanding the need to think before speaking and when some thoughts should just not be shared. He is extremely observant. My favorite observation was when he said, "Miss G, you got your hair done. I like it." His observations help him to be successful in the classroom. No matter the situation, my Gala student works well with a partner, lab group, and independently. Gala, you should know that you have made me smile every day. I know that sometimes it is very difficult to just be still, but you have learned what you need to help you learn best. You started the school year by saying to me that your elementary school years were very difficult for you, and I was determined that you will not feel that way about middle school. It is my hope that you see yourself as I do, an independent, intelligent, funny, kind, considerate, caring, polite young gentleman. It is my honor and privilege to present, well, sometimes it's Nick, and then other mornings it's Nicholas Toth as my Gala Award recipient. Do you want the water bottle? No, it's my water bottle. I've collected a few. I forgot to bring them with me. That's just really mine, though. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Robert Goldstein to announce our next recipient.
Welcome to Northern. How's everybody doing back there? Can we get a cheer? Something? All right. All right, so I can't even see this. Jeez. Let's start off with a quick story. All right, so you have to put yourself back. It's back to school night, September of 22. I'm in the campus store, and I overhear my Gala, my student, who is a campus store worker, talking to several parents. I cannot believe my ears, but this is what I'm hearing him say. "Welcome to the Hound Pound. How may I help you? Please let me know if you have any questions. My name is, and I am here to help you." I am thinking, who is this kid? I was so impressed how my student interacted with our parents. It was professional, courteous, and definitely not what a typical 8th grader sounded like. And it was not what my student sounded like as a 7th grader. I had my gala in 7th grade. At that point, I started to realize how my student has grown and what he is becoming. When I think of my student over the last 2 years, one word comes to mind. It's determined. My student is determined to keep doing better, whether in apps class, business class, or on the MB lacrosse field, or even working at the campus store. This is directly to my gala. Never forget all the laughs, all our talks, especially the one with Coach Stino in the campus store. Don't forget the lacrosse game when Coach kept telling you to pass the ball. You didn't keep your head up, and then you get flattened by the biggest guy on the Marlton lacrosse team. I'm telling you, Stino, isn't it right? Every other day we say the same story again and again. And we laugh and laugh. And we work too, but we laugh. Don't forget the lacrosse shirt you designed and the countless hours you have assisted me in the campus store. Finally, my student, I will leave you with this quote. "The determination to win is the better part of winning. What is awesome as a middle school student, you already know this. And this is why you are my gala recipient. 2 years goes by fast, Roberto Landrell. RJ, as we all know him, shoot for the stars, and I know you will. I'm really going to miss you next year. Come and get your gala award." It is now my pleasure to introduce the amazing Miss Jennifer Fontanez.
I started the whole superlatives last year, so we're going to continue that trend again this year. Unfortunately, my gala student could not be here tonight, but I know they'll be very excited when they come back from vacation to be presented with this award. So I'm going to read what we have for my student. This year, I have chosen a student who has grown throughout their time here at Northern and continues to surprise me every day with their willingness to learn new things. I first met this student over the summer in our extended school year, and they were incredibly quiet and reserved. It was sometimes hard to get a smile out of them or figure out if they were even learning anything new. However, over this past year, I have watched this student learn to adapt to a new classroom and a new school. If you ask them about their latest Nintendo Switch game or a tournament they've played, their face will often light up with a huge smile, and they're always all smiles when they have a chance to visit with our therapy dog, Porter. This student has excelled in math and also shown their ability to write in great detail through journal activities that often make me look forward to reading what adventures they have to share. They have gone beyond just being a student in the classroom and often take the time to help others when they do not understand a concept or have missed a section in their notes. They're always willing to help out and show kindness to a student who may need assistance. While still true to their quiet and reserved personality, it has been so rewarding to watch the student come out of their comfort zone and become a hardworking and caring student they are today. It is an honor to recognize Logan Trinidad Del Valle as my recipient of the Greyhound Gala Award this year. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the lovely Miss Kristen Henry.
Good evening. The student I selected for Gala this year makes me smile every day. Their love of learning is wonderful to witness and inspires their peers. When this kid understands something, the world knows it. A light bulb just seems to light up over their head, and then they carry that light into all they do. This student brings energy and joy with them everywhere. I often have to hide my grin during serious moments when I hear a quiet remark this child makes. Their wry sense of humor is delivered quietly, daily. This student is my unofficial teaching assistant. After I give directions, they can be heard repeating them to their classmates to confirm everyone understands. When we're reviewing information, they frequently anticipate my next move, instructing their classmates to highlight passages, what safety equipment they need, or to which page they should turn. Just when I think this student is not paying attention, he does or says something that shows he's been with me all along. My day is brighter with this kiddo in it, and I am so very grateful for the opportunity to have him in my class. I am so very proud of all you have accomplished and excited for your future. Brody Sheehan. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the marvelous Mrs. Melissa Leno.
Good evening. My Greyhound Gala student has been a bright light in my day this school year. They always enter the classroom with a smile and a positive attitude. During class, they are always actively participating and asking questions. I have enjoyed watching their confidence and their math skills grow throughout the year. Now, whenever they're the first to finish an assignment, you will find them eagerly working with their classmates. Some students might even call for my Gala student before they ask for me. I have been proud to watch my Gala student transform into a leader in our classroom. I am sure they will continue to be a positive presence in their classes for years to come, but I will certainly miss seeing their smiling face each day. Congratulations to my Greyhound Gala student, Charlize Polk. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the wonderful Mrs. Nicole Avanzato to announce our next recipient.
In most cases, the student's definition of a cool kid and the teacher's definition of a cool kid are diametrically opposed. My Gala student is the rare exception to this rule. This student is the kid other students look up to and want to be liked by. When I poll my students in the class about who they would like to sit near or who they want to be in a group with, a vast majority will write this student's name. This student is a leader in and out of the classroom and proves to their peers that it's cool to be the kind kid. It's cool to be the curious kid. It's cool to be the kid who participates in class. It's cool to be the kid who gets excited about a project. It's cool to be the kid who is respectful to his teachers and peers. And it's cool to be the kid who wants his teacher to see him sink a three-point shot, even if it takes a few tries. For all these reasons and more, I have chosen my Gala student, one of the coolest kids I've ever had the privilege of teaching, Eric Torres. And it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce to the Gala stage for the final time, the incomparable Mrs. Jerry Yost.
Sorry for the delay. I feel like the sloth in Zootopia. The student I have chosen for this year's Greyhound Gala demonstrates respect, manners, and total engagement in the classroom. This individual is always enthusiastic to answer questions and participate in class discussions. Since our course covers history, art, and fiction, the student answers with thoughtful insight by relating class topics to other information to establish connections to the outside world. One situation that impressed me so much was when the student had a snag while preparing a project. He left it on the bus, and he let me know immediately, and moreover, he took full responsibility if it was late. But he wanted to make sure that I did not penalize his partner for the lateness, which reveals a level of integrity that I see rare in most students. The delightful habit that he has that really made my day, every day, is that every time I would say something, he would give me the thumbs up, giving me the indication he was with me. So I finally gave him his own nickname, Mr. Thumbs Up. I'm happy to select Joseph Stevens as my Greyhound Gala recipient. Sadly, he is not here, but I will make sure that he gets the award. I am proud to introduce the incredible Mrs. Irwin.
Selecting a student for the Greyhound Gala is something I have been excited about all year. It is a chance to really recognize a student that is special to you. The student I have selected starts every day with a smiling face and is frequently making those around her smile too, as she has a genuine care for others. I always enjoy our conversations and our sometimes humorous chats. Throughout this year, I have been privileged to see this student challenge herself and grow with continuous determination. I look forward to watching her keep pursuing her goals and achieving success in the classroom, on the field of play, and most importantly, in life. Wishing you all the best in all that you continue to do, Layla Coderoni. To introduce Mr. Michael Sheena.
Good evening. I'm going to apologize first. I'm sorry, but I may surprise you with my analogy. Middle school can be a little like that land of the misfit toys in the old Rudolph Christmas special. You know, I'm supposed to be a dentist. What I mean is the kids, as great as they often are, don't really know where they're going in life yet. And that mystery can provide more than a little angst or awkwardness, unless the student is what we know to be an old soul. My nominee definitely warrants that label. Every once in a while, you'll start to think of one of your students can't possibly be a middle schooler. Usually it shows up in polite conversation when some old-timey saying that my dad used to overuse invites itself into the fray. A kid will use it and I'll immediately think, okay, boomer. Then I'll realize, kid's only 13. My Greyhound Gala recipient clearly embodies that moniker, the old soul. I think it's a wonderful concept. I use it flatteringly when I suspect the student may operate better in adult conversations than the usual middle school topics of Fortnite, memes, and Marvel films. This person, for her passion projects, has studied and created the perfect black dress, engaged in experiments on procrastination and hobbies, and she's weighed the difference between the personal enjoyment of pursuing a career in law versus the unbridled joy of learning to inline skate. Whatever she does it thoroughly, and the next level successfully. Her ability to get the most out of any project is prodigious and inspiring and amazing. For her ability to think and converse like a colleague, her impressive work ethic, and her unique curiosity that I hope never wanes, I nominate Anika Kumar as my Greyhound Gala. I also nominate her because I'm embarrassed by the fact that we literally met by accident that I caused by hitting her mother and her in a car. Yeah, that's me. Congratulations. That's yours, and that's yours. And I'll meet you out there. I can give you a speech. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Miss Diana Lee, who I'll be playing today because she couldn't be with us tonight. Okay, this is in the voice of Miss Lee. You are a respectful and hardworking student and strive to be your very best. Oh, I should also add that this student is also a student that I share with Miss Lee. Since 7th grade, you have impressed me with your great work ethic that are seldom shown in middle school age students. This year, sitting in a highly active big class, you are calm but fully engaged. You have been working proactively and attentively, demonstrating great enthusiasm for learning Chinese and making significant progress. Every day, you've come into class well prepared, fully participating in classwork, and eager to learn something new. You complete all assignments in a perfection way. I can always rely on you to present exemplary works for the class. Your classmates turn to you when a challenging question is posted. Beyond the academic achievements you are making in the class, you are an excellent collaborator and role model to everyone. Your engagement has encouraged the whole class working toward excellence, and you like to help others with great patience and kindness. Here, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for what you've brought to Chinese class. Persistence, diligence, and excellence. Seeing your performance and the progress you make every day makes me feel proud of being a teacher. With great honor and pleasure, I choose you as my Greyhound Gala recipient, Emma Dulce, to recognize your achievement in Chinese class. All right, this is where she's asking me to speak some Chinese, so I apologize ahead of time to everybody. I Ma wish you the very best as you continue your education in high school and look forward to being your teacher again in 2 years in Chinese for honors class. Congratulations, Emma. And now it is my pleasure to finally get off the stage, and introduce the incredible Miss Lauren Wooler.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. Most middle schoolers experience difficulty finding their voices as they transition into a new academic phase. Not my gala recipient. From the first day of school, she has not hesitated once to seek answers to her questions. Her ability to be so comfortable made my daily interactions with her even more enjoyable, and I look forward to being able to help her as much as possible. Selfishly, I moved her seat so she could just turn around and chat with me when necessary. Through our daily interactions, I've learned more about her as a person, her learning style, and I even convinced her to try a new sport despite her very busy soccer schedule. On the field, she's a fierce competitor and a true team player, and I was really excited the first time she referred to me as Coach Woe. A talented and humble student athlete, willing to do whatever while always giving her best effort. And for these reasons and so many more, I would like to congratulate you, Addie DeSantis, on making such an impact on my day, inside and outside of the classroom. And it is my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Lauren Allen to announce our next recipient.
There is a sign hanging on the door of the choir room that says choir is family. For me, this student embodies that family. He takes initiative for himself and knows that sometimes the greatest lesson comes in the journey rather than the destination. Even through the various hurdles that middle school can present, he has continued to push himself as a musician and a performer. This student was chosen to participate in the All South Jersey Junior High Chorus. He was a lead in this year's musical, Into the Woods, as well as a dedicated member of the chorus club. He demonstrates remarkable leadership skills and dedication to the choral program. He is always there to lend a hand to myself or his classmates without question. He pushes his classmates to be the best versions of themselves, and he has pushed me to become a better teacher. Grant, you have shown genuine and sincere dedication not only to the Northern Burlington Choral Program, but to the students that make up the program. During your time in middle school, you made a remarkable impact on your classmates and me. You will be missed in the middle school, but I know that you will continue to do great things. Keep your eye on the prize and never doubt your talents. It has been a true honor to be a part of your journey, and I cannot wait to see where your talent and your drive takes you. I got through it and I didn't cry. You can't take points off for crying after. It is my pleasure to now introduce Miss Nicolette Palmer for the next recipient.
When I think of my Greyhound Gala recipient this year, I think of a butterfly, gentle, beautiful, graceful, quiet, in all matters of attitude, action, and the way she carries herself. In September, like a newly hatched butterfly, my nominee was really quiet, nervous, and shy. As the year progressed, I saw so much growth. She picked her head up and began to smile in the hallway. She proved herself to be a good and kind friend. She started raising her hand and sharing answers to questions in class, and she was right, she was correct. Her work continues to improve, and I'm so pleased that she's been coming out of her shell and blossoming into a wonderful, intelligent, talented young lady. Congratulations, Alyssa. Keep on growing and sharing all you have to offer with the world for good. It is my pleasure to welcome Miss Melissa Bennett to give the next award recipient. We're almost there, guys. And ladies, we're almost there. It's not often in life that you meet a person who exhibits kindness the way my Greyhound Gala has in the last 2 years. This individual exemplifies what a caring person should be. Just like a quote from Winnie the Pooh, a little consideration makes all the difference. This student goes out of their way to make people feel special, happy, or more confident in themselves. In all of my years as a teacher, of which there are many, I've never seen a student who was so sensitive to others' feelings. This particular student goes above and beyond to be kind to his peers, teachers, and family. I am such a lucky teacher, and I am so proud to have had him in my class. My Greyhound Gala choice this year is Ethan Lorero. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dustin Faust to announce our next recipient.
Making the right decision, something that seems very easy, but can be extremely hard for many, especially middle schoolers. This student is the epitome of integrity. He comes prepared to class and eager to learn, not just to get good grades or to be recognized by others, but to generally make himself a better person. He has a quiet confidence. It shows in the way he carries himself throughout the school day, the hallway, how he talks to others, peers, and teachers the same. He is poised for greatness inside and out of the classroom, and I can't wait to see what higher purpose he serves in the future. My Greyhound Gala recipient is Elijah Font. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Robin McLean to announce our next recipient.
And I know the suspense is killing you based on, two teachers, two students, who it might be. But my 2023 Greyhound Gala recipient has shown quiet leadership. She has a level of maturity and responsibility that others in her grade could look to emulate. She models patience. In preparation for the New Jersey FFA Horticultural Exposition, she demonstrated a desire to build on past experience and show creativity in her own design. She was brave enough to share an FFA Week announcement over the PA system so everyone in the school would hear. When we had FFA activities, I knew I could count on her to devote time and energy to areas of interest to her and be a model of good citizenship to others. It is now my pleasure to recognize Joanna Stewart as my 2023 Greyhound Gala recipient. And up next, we have the passionate Parvane Sulan.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for waiting for me. I have to tell you that over the last weekend, I had the pleasure of getting to know my nominee a little bit better. And it was an absolute honor to meet her in a whole different setting. Every year, I am privileged to teach so many amazing students. Each year, I can only select one as my Greyhound Gala recipient, which makes this task very difficult. My Gala recipient is a hardworking person with a fun sense of humor and incredible love for learning. I could always count on this person to do the best. Appreciate the new things we learn and laugh at my jokes, which sometimes they're not even funny. Science jokes, sometimes they're kind of dorky. This brilliant student is respectful, hardworking, dependable, conscientious, kind, helpful, and very considerate of others. I am proud to present this year's Greyhound Gala Award to Sanjana Kamath. Congratulations, Sanjana. The sky is the limit for you. Keep on being awesome. I wish you all the best in the future and everything you do. Let's go take a picture. Kern's turn to take the microphone. Thank you. The amazing Dr. Kern.
All right, hyperbole for sure. First of all, you can tell a great deal of thought, effort, and time goes into selecting these students, preparing the speeches, and of course, we have amazing students to write about. A round of applause for our teachers and for our students here this evening. Our honor.